What's up everyone? My name's Nolan and I'm with Force USA. Today I get to introduce you to the all-new functional training rack. Now this product has stemmed from something that we were looking at, kind of the old-fashioned functional trainer. This is something that we've all seen before. We've seen it in your local gym, we've seen it in your home gym, we've seen it in all these different places, and nothing has really changed. So we took a fresh look at this product and we put our spin on it. As you know, we're known for our all-in-one trainers, and we couldn't just leave it at being a one-purpose machine. So we wanted to make sure that it was multifunctional. So what did we do? We threw a half rack on the front of it. So now you get to get all the same functions of a functional trainer, but now you get a rack put on the front of it so that you can do all of your barbell movements and do your free weight movements and not lose out on that function. So as I go through this product, you're gonna see a lot of new flair, a lot of new features, and specific designs that were meant to be different, as our new functional training rack is gonna be the centerpiece of your new home gym. So the functional training rack, or the FTR, has some really cool design features. And one of my favorite features is our all new freestyle pulley arms. Now these arms are really unique because they adjust in multiple directions. So that means I can actually pop this pin and move this so that it's in a wider position, and it allows me to really get that wide grip, let's say for a chest fly. So I can get right outside of that rack, or I can adjust it and move it in so now I get a more narrow position. So that's nice to be able to move it in that direction, but you can also move it in the vertical plane. So I can pop this pin, drop this all the way down, or have any of these adjustments in between, but it really allows me to get that range of motion from top to bottom and side to side. Now the last feature of this pulley arm is I can actually pull this pop pin, lock it out, and then that means that it's gonna move freely. So no matter what range of motion I throw at it, it's gonna naturally go through any of those exercises to feel more fluid. Now the uprights on this FTR are super unique because typically on a functional trainer, you don't get to use them for any type of free weight movement. It's straight up cable machine and weight stacks. Well, not with ours. We had to add the rack function on the front. So now you have these beefy 3x3 uprights that you can add J-hooks, spotters, and do all of your barbell movements right off the front. So now you don't just have this one-trick pony. We're able to put our own spin on it and do it in the all-in-one fashion. So if you look at the top of the FTR, you're gonna notice this crossbeam here is the same dimensions as the upright. So 3x3, 1-inch holes, and that means that it's adjustable or modular and can be used with the attachments that are being used on the uprights. Now that also means these handles are adjustable, so you can move these in or out or completely remove them. And in the future, we'll have some offerings that you'll be able to use for that top portion or even on the uprights. Now you'll also notice that we're still keeping this guy around. You can use it for your bands or you can use it for your suspension trainer, whatever you see best use for. But I think this adds a lot of value and there's a lot of adjustability that can be happening just on the top of your gym. So with a functional trainer, you're gonna need some decent weight to start off with. And we wanted to make sure that you had enough. So we're gonna include 200 pounds right out of the box on each side. So that means you get a total of 400 pounds. Now you don't have to stop there. You're gonna have the ability to add on 50-pound increments all the way up to 300-pound maximum on each side. So that means you can get up to 600 pounds, which is really gonna be plenty of weight when you're doing those big compound lifts like a lat pull down or a row. So you have plenty of options when it comes to weight, but you also wanna make sure the increments are right because you're not always gonna be doing those big muscle groups. You might be utilizing it for smaller muscle groups. So that's why we added in the 5-pound increment. So now you can drop this guy down and you can go in 5-pound increments versus 10-pound increments, but whatever movement, whatever weight that you need, you have that option and it's there for you to use. Now with this machine, you're probably gonna have a lot of attachments and we're gonna make sure to include all the ones you're gonna need right outside of the box, but we wanted to make sure you had a nice way to store them. So on the back side here, we've included a pegboard that has these pegs that are modular, so it means you can move it around to fit your exact storage needs. But we're gonna have all the basics that you're gonna need so that you can hang them nice and neat and make it very accessible for you to grab and attach when you wanna use them. And we also have a shelf here that's gonna be nice for all your loose items, just making sure that you can keep everything organized and in this small space. And down here you got this cross beam that you're also gonna be able to use for storage, especially if you decide to use our J-hooks or our spotters. Now when you're not using them, you can store them here nice and neat and out of the way. So I hope you love all the new designs and features of our new functional training rack as much as I do. And if you're looking for a new product to be the cornerstone of your home gym, I would take a look at the FTR. And if you wanna learn more, go to forceusa.com or your local retailer.